Hello everyone, I'm Wes, and welcome to Retro Console Repairs and Mods. On this channel we give old school consoles and handhelds some TLC, fresh upgrades, and slick mods. If you like what I do, please remember to smash the like button, subscribe to this channel, and share the video with everyone you know. Welcome everyone. We've got mail. Let's see what we got today. So, we've got some capacitor kits for, if you remember my video a week or so ago, for these PlayStation 2 power supplies. So it looks like we've got some Super Nintendo capacitor kits. Lots of Super Nintendo capacitor kits. And we've got 3 capacitor kits for these PlayStation 2 power supplies. And a fireball. Ooh, thanks, Console 5. Alright. So, let me get these out of the way here. That's for later. So I got these 3 PlayStation 2 power supplies that I've replaced out of some PlayStation 2s over the past couple of months. I'm going to get these diagnosed up, but if these capacitor kits work, I'm hoping that I can actually revive a couple of these PlayStation 2 power supplies. Let's start with this guy right here. Greetings from the future. So I wanted to apologize to you all for the blurry video that you're about to see. I didn't discover it until in post-editing. What you're going to see in the video is the replacement of these capacitors right here. So this big cap, these 2 capacitors here, this one and this one. This big capacitor here is a 220 volt 270 UF capacitor. These are 216 volt 1 microfarad or 1000 UF capacitor, and then this is a 16 volt 220 UF, and then I think this is another let's see, this is a 27 UF capacitor. I don't remember what the voltage on it is. If you get a capacitor kit, you should be able to see it. During the testing, I actually discovered that all 3 of this small 27 UF capacitors are bad, in my case. So if you have this power supply, the 1-468-2, or sorry, 623-31 board, then I would start with looking at this small capacitor. I don't know if it's a known issue or whatever, but in my case all 3 of these were bad and the rest of them were fine, except for on one of the boards this capacitor right here was just starting to leak. So when I wanted to remove these, all I did was heat up the solder joints on each of these capacitors, and I used my desolder gun to remove the solder from these joints here. And they really just fell right out. I replaced them and tested the boards, and there you go. So by all means continue on through the video. It is a little blurry, so I apologize again, but hopefully that is a good enough explanation for you to make it through the next section. So it's early in my channel, I'm learning, so stick with me, and thank you all. Okay, first of all, what I'm going to say here is, if you don't feel comfortable with working on a power supply, I highly encourage that you don't work on a power supply. These things can hold voltage for a long, long time, and they can shock you pretty good. So, by all means, if you don't want to work on one of these, go buy one off of Amazon or something like that.
a new one or a refurbished one. Otherwise, go ahead and continue on. And continue on. You might entertain yourself if I get shocked by one. So, all right. So the first thing I'm going to do is I have this discharge tool. I'm going to come in here and see if there's any voltage left in here. If there's any voltage left in here, there will be a red light here. So no voltage there. Go ahead and try on these guys right here. I don't see any there. All right. I'm going to bring this other one back over, and we'll see if there's any voltage in this one. Nothing left in this one either. And last one will be this one here. We'll see if there's anything left. I got nothing. Alright. So after this, I'm going to come in with my desolder gun here. So I'm going to use this Hako desoldering iron. But you can use a solder sucker or even solder wick, whatever you have laying around. This is just going to make this easier on me. So I'm going to get started by desoldering this. And I'm going to remove all the capacitors off of this board, and I'm going to test them to see if they're any good. So having one of these desolder guns makes this job really easy. So all I'm going to do is come in here and put this gun on top of this, which is going to heat that solder up. There is a lot of solder on these. Alright, and we'll see if this, there you go, it just falls right out. So one of the things I should have looked at before I took this out is I want to look at the orientation here. If you look at here, you'll see this rounded edge here. This is actually going to be the negative side of your capacitor. So and it looks like they did the same thing for the other capacitors that are here on the board as well. So I'm going to go ahead and get those removed as well. And there we go. So all of our capacitors should just come right out now. If they don't come out, just twist them back and forth a little bit like that, and they should wiggle their way right out. I'm going to turn off my desolder gun here. Bring my meter back in. Actually, let's use my LCR meter here. And the first thing we'll do is let's check this one. This should be a 16 volt 1000 UF. So we have 1 microfarad. I think that one's okay. So this one here is almost 1 microfarad. This one should be 220 UF, 184, plus or minus 20%. I think this one is okay. And then this one here should be 220 volt and 270 UF. And this one is at 246. The one that I'm kind of worried about is this little one. And I might not be... Oh, wait a minute. This little guy here is only reading 7.2. And it's supposed to be 27. I'm going to go ahead and call this little one here bad. This might be the only thing that's wrong with this board is this little 27 UF capacitor. So I'm going to get this one, I'm going to get the capacitors in this one replaced. Alright, so here we go. We're going to go ahead and get these capacitors installed. So, going to need one of these big caps and one of the capacitor kits. So Console 5 sells these. They come, the big caps do come separate. I'm going to go ahead and just replace them. These things are kind of expensive, like $6 a piece, if you want to call that expensive. But I think this whole cap kit that I got here costs less than that. Costs less than this big cap. So, all right. So we're going to put on a little bit of flux. And that should be good for the big cap. All right. So these next two caps are going to be 16 volt 1000 UF. So the negatives go this way towards that little arc there. We're just going to push these through and bend the pins out a little bit to hold them in. Then while I'm at it, I'm going to go ahead and put our 220 in there. Same thing for this one. And then lastly, this is going to be our 27 UF capacitor. It goes right here. And then let's go ahead and get those soldered in. We'll see if this fixes the problem. When we're done, we'll go ahead and cut these. Alright, let's see what we got. So, we've got all 4 or 5 of our capacitors replaced. Let's go ahead and give this thing, let's go ahead and turn this thing on and see what we have. I got no fuse again. Gotta go steal a fuse. Let's turn this on and hope nothing explodes. Nothing exploded. That's always good. Let's see if we have any difference when it comes to the output of this power supply now. We are on. Select DC. Oh, almost backwards.
Cam, you okay?
Hot dog, we got 12 volts. All right. Power supply number 1 is fixed. Let's move on to power supply number 2. All right. So I've got all my capacitors out of power supply number 2. Let's go ahead and give these a try. I'm actually going to do this with a different meter this time. I'm going to do it with my regular meter and not my LCR meter. So you can see what that looks like on a regular meter here. Let's go ahead and check this big cap. This big cap is 260 UF. So that one appears to be good. Let's go ahead and test this 1000 UF here. So this should be 1 microfarad So, yep, there you go. 1 microfarad. That's good. Next one, again, should be 1 microfarad. Yep, same. That one's good. Stay. Let's check this one. This should be 220. Should be 220 UF. 228. That one's okay too. And then here's the one that was bad last time, was this 27 UF. Is it possible it's bad again? 9.6. That is pretty terrible. Alright, so we're back with PlayStation Power Supply number 2. After the full recap, let's see what we get. Alright, we're powered on. And we got 12 volts. PlayStation Power Supply number 2 is saved. Alright, so I wanted to establish a pattern here. So again, this small capacitor for this power supply is way out of spec. So, just so you can see this third one. So we are at, you saw it was 9.410, 10 UF. And it's supposed to be, again, 27. So all 3 of my power supplies, I think it's been this small capacitor that's actually been the culprit. So, get the third one done. Alright, so here's our third and final power supply. And it looks like we're going to be 3 for 3. A little less than 12 volts. Alright, that's awesome. 3 good power supplies now. Alright, so I think we can actually say that this power supply, along with all the others, are no longer bad. So, for the bonus part of this video, I'm actually going to use one of these power supplies to repair a PlayStation 2 FAT that was in a previous video that I didn't have a power supply for. So I'm going to go ahead and get that out, and I'll be right back. Alright, here's our PS2 that previously didn't have a power supply. So that's already in there, so we're good there. Let's get that put in. If we get power, this little light right here should turn red. Alright, I'm going to get this hooked up to my TV over here, and then I'll get you guys switched over to the other videos so that you can see what's going on. Be right back. Alright. Let's hope that the disk drive works. Oops, let's turn the TV on also. Oh, there we go. Let's restart the drive. Let's restart it, see if it loads the disk right off the go. Alright, well that one loaded. That's great. Alright, that works. Let's try a DVD. That works great too. One more test, that's the dual layer. Alright, that works great too. I think this PlayStation 2 is all fixed up. All it needed was a power supply. And since we got the capacitor kits in, I got a couple extra power supplies for other ones that come in too. I'm going to get this thing cleaned up, and that's going to do it for this video. Thanks everybody, and I'll see you all the next time.
Do your best. Picnic even feels so good. 素敵なアフタヌーン。プラチナみんな yeah。固めて転がす I love you いつでも smile for you。君だけにラブ。Hey so 頑張らなくちゃ。Compilation。お揃いの T シャツ